Today I am going to be dry aging some Capicola. I've just got them hanging out in the bags here, so I will get those out and we will talk about them. Okay, so I just took these bad boys out of their vacuum seal packages. So essentially what I had done with those, so these were 2 coppa mussels from pig that I butchered, and what I have done is I cured them with cure number 2, 2% salt, and then this hot pepper paste that I picked up. Just, I don't know, you can get them at Italian stores or occasional supermarkets. Any brand will do. Kind of a Calabrian pepper paste idea. I just coated it all with that, and then vacuum sealed them, mostly vacuum sealed, but either way it's just a great bag to use because you know nothing's going to get out, nothing's going to get in. And then I let them sit for a month, which is possibly a little bit longer than I needed. I'm sure 2.5 to 3 weeks would have been good enough. However, I had time and space, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to rinse them off just to get off this coating, to get off any excess cure that might somehow still be kicking around, and then I'm actually going to wind up reapplying some hot pepper paste and then wrapping them in collagen sheets and hanging them in a curing chamber. So for now I'm just going to add some water in here and then just kind of rub them and get this stuff off. So this is what it looks like here after a thorough rinsing, and I just patted it dry with some paper towel. Now I'm just going to take some of this hot pepper paste and put it on. Get a nice good rub all the way around here. I'm not looking for a ton of it on at this point. I certainly applied more when I initially prepared these for cure. This is going to help that collagen sheet adhere, and I'm also just hoping and praying for just a little bit more absorption of that hot pepper flavor, just because it's awesome, because I'm hoping this will be a somewhat spicy Capicola. So now, so this is my collagen sheet over here, and for that, I'm just now going to place the coppa right there near the edge. Now I'm hoping that this particular sheet will be long enough to do 2 of these. So I'm just going to wash up and we will get going on that. Alright, so it is truth time. Let's find out how this will work. So this is, right here is about midway. Please, please, please work. Okay, I think it's going to. I really do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use these scissors here, and I'm just going to cut up right around what's going to be halfway there. So I'll be able to use the other half here for my second coppa. It will just be very frugal of me. I think I'll have just enough of this. Okay. And you also want to make sure that you're kind of getting as much air pockets out. You don't want a bunch of air pockets hanging out around here. I'm fully prepared to accept that this is going to make a huge mess of my table here, and that's okay. And you know what? This little flap of meat, let's just tuck that down in there. See if we can still make it work. Haha! Yes! Okay, so that is going to work. So the sheet will, in fact, cover the entire thing. Just get it around here. Awesome. Okay, so now remove some of the excess up here. We're not going to need. Slide it this way a little bit. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to quickly track down my hog rings and hog ring pliers so that we can wrap this up. Okay, so I have my hog ring pliers and my 3/8 hog rings. So I'm just going to secure this first end here. right. Okay, like I said, this one's gonna make a huge mess. Okay. Tuck this under here. Make sure I've got a touch of overlap. Now, you wouldn't necessarily need to use one of these sheets. I have in the past. I just like how it kind of contains the meat. It will also hopefully allow the meat to be leaching moisture at a slightly more controlled rate. Let me get this other one on here. And then I'm also going to put it in a hanging sock here in just a moment, once I know that this is all good. Okay, there we are. I am just going to get my netting. We'll be able to wrap that up. Okay, so here I have some P322 netting, and this will get around this Capicola. It's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze, and it's always fun, and it will probably be really embarrassing for me to try to do this without looking like an idiot, but I'm going to start. So, hey, that actually wasn't too bad at all. Now the only thing is in doing so, I have messed up the collagen sheet on this part, but that's just a simple matter of getting back under here and stretching it back around. So it's probably going to take me a minute or so to do. So once I'm done that, I will come back. All right, I got that all nice and sealed up. Took me like 45 seconds to do, but not too bad. Now it's not going to go anywhere. You wouldn't necessarily need to use this netting. You could like kind of tie things up, truss it a little bit. I am going to have this hanging in my curing chamber like so, and I find the netting just provides a nice, more even pressure all around the meat. Kind of helps it retain its shape a little bit as well. So last thing I'm going to do as part of this is just kind of tie the netting. And I usually just use some of this butcher's twine. I just kind of loop it through every few holes or whatever. Going around. And then I will tie it nice and tight. Cut off the excess. I can also then cut off some of this excess netting. Okay? And then just repeat on the other side here. So I'm just going to figure out what'll be pretty close. And everything is obviously going to be shrinking over the next couple of months as this dries and loses weight. I'm going to be shooting for about 35% weight loss on this. So once I have this ready to hang, or both of them ready to hang I should say, I'm going to weigh them out and record the weights, and then in about a month or so I'll check, and then another month after that I'll check and just kind of make sure I'm getting towards that 35%. This is the 4th time I've done Capicola this way, and I really like how it turns out. So I'm just really hoping it works out as it has in the past. So I'm just going to cut off that there, and then I'm going to wind up hanging with just one of these S hooks, just kind of looping it through a few of the holes there. One more over on this side here. So it'll hang just like that. So I'm going to quickly prep up the other one, quickly, and then we'll get them weighed and ready for the curing chamber. So we've got both of them tied up and ready to go. What I'm going to do is take this first one and get a weight. So we're looking at 1916 grams. And I'll get the weight of this other one. I'm gonna pop on that. And 2,000. Oh wow, so these are very close. 2,000. So then I'm going to have this written on the tape. I'm also just going to subtract 35%, which I'm not going to do in my head. I'll do that and write down kind of the targets on this, and the tape is going to get attached to this piece of string. I'm also going to take photos of it in case something happens to the tape somehow over the next 2 or 3 months while these are aging. And then there's one last step wherein I'm going to take a vinegar wash, a vinegar dilution. Spray these things down right before putting in the curing chamber, and that's just going to help deal with any possible molds and stuff that might be on the exterior of all this, because of course we've been manhandling them and whatnot. So hang in there for a sec and I'll show you what that looks like in the chamber. Okay, we are ready to go. So as you can see, I've got my my original weights and my target weights secured on here. So now I'm just going to take my vinegar solution. This is a 30% solution, which is obviously higher than I need, but I mean, vinegar's cheap, so whatever. I've also gone ahead and sprayed down the inside of the curing chamber. I don't currently have an intentionally inoculated mold culture in here. That'll happen the next time I do salami. But what I need to do right now is to get these hanging in here. And I'm going to set this up at about 72% relative humidity with my humidity controller, and then it'll be right around 4 degrees Celsius just for the actual fridge temperature in here. And we'll check on it in about a month and see what's going on. And there we are. Charcuterie ready for dry aging, Capicola style. So until next time, keep her at 11.